The Volvo Ocean Race has reached the eastern seaboard of the USA. 3 of its 6 legs so far won by the overall race leaders. Offshore they seem impregnable, but around the cans they're not invincible. As the fleet prepares for the Boston Import Race, will anyone stop Torben Grael and Ericsson 4? Their biggest threat once again will be Bauer Becking's Telefonica Blue. Top scorers in the 4 import races so far, winners in Alicante and Rio. Third into Boston after leading for most of leg 6, Becking's men trailed Grail's by 13 points, but won't give up on their dream. Just half a point behind in third overall are hometown favourites Puma's Il Mostro. Without a win offshore or import, Ken Reed's crew are desperate to deliver in home waters. Also dangerous, Tuni Bermudez's fast-improving Delta Lloyd and Fernando Echevari's Telefonica Black. Both bolstered with inshore expertise and buoyed by better showings on leg 6. Leg 7, the transatlantic tear-up to Galway is just a week away, but right now the action is all inshore. Push is coming to shove. Ericsson 4 is pulling away. Who will step up to the plate in Boston? The Boston Import Race fast approaching. 2 former big hitters are in town.
Agnes, sorry, excuse me.
Come on.
Very good.
Very good.
How are you?
Yeah, very good.
Congratulations.
We missed you in this race.
Yeah, I
We
missed
like
the race.
people like you.
I missed the race.
Yeah. What are you doing this
Yeah,
stupid America's Cup when you have Volvo Ocean Race?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when there isn't even an America's Cup.
Exactly.
Better push the button, Magnus, otherwise you're going to be over the other side.
In the last race 3 years ago, Mike Sanderson notched a runaway win in ABN AMRO 1, sealing victory on leg 7 with 2 legs still to run.
Well, I've literally come just to catch up with all my old friends. I mean, it was just a wonderful opportunity having the fleet here in Boston so close to where I live in Europe. And so, no, why not jump on a plane and come over and see everyone.
Like, where'd you come from?
I just came from the
Like,
airport.
you're looking fun.
Second 3 years ago, and a winner of the 97-98 edition, Paul Kayard, who skippered Pirates of the Caribbean alongside Jerry Kirby and Kimo Worthington, now of Puma's Il Mostro.
Really? I got old guy 3 times on the boat already. Hey, old guy. You got old guy? Yeah, old guy. Hey, old guy. Maybe we should be.
Like that movie Cocoon.
What about the Viagra commercials? We could be in those.
No, I think that's our next program.
Viagra sponsorship.
Viagra and Old Spice.
Well, I just like sailing. I like competing, and I like this kind of race. Probably for the same reasons Jerry does. I mean, it's there's the race, but there's also you get such a strong sense of camaraderie in this race because there's so many tough times.
Third to Sanderson 3 years ago on Brazil 1 was the current race's leading skipper Torben Grael. 13 points ahead of his nearest rival, Grail's lead, like Sanderson's at this stage, is substantial but not insurmountable.
What Ericsson 4 in particular will be worried about is a big gap. So they'll be definitely keeping an eye on Telefonica Blue tomorrow. And, you know, if Telefonica comes third and Ericsson 4's fourth, well, that's not a bad result. So, yeah, I mean, you've just got to get all the points you can get every time there's an opportunity to get them.
Also nearby, another old friend, one that took him safely round the world and delivered the biggest prize in ocean racing. ABN AMRO 1, aka Black Betty, the current Delta Lloyd.
You had to come down and give it a little pat, you know. She looked after us, better say hello at least. Be a bit rude not to, I guess. Still very strong feelings about that boat. It was a very special boat for me, and it was a very special boat for our team. And it's wonderful to see it back
in the race. It's wonderful to see it back getting some fantastic results, and it's just so good for the race that you've got a second generation boat out there mixing it up with the big teams. And I mean, that's huge for Volvo, and it's great to see.
On the racetrack recently and in practice, Delta Lloyd has been a revelation. Third in the Rio import race and third at the Fernando de Noronha scoring gate on leg 6. Sanderson's old boat has been given a new lease of life, along with the new mast, sails and crew members it received in Rio. The glory days of its previous owners may be over, but another podium place in Boston is again within reach.
I'm impressed. I mean, it's a great group of guys. They're very enthusiastic. They seem to be very excited about the rest of the race. I sense they probably have the most enthusiasm of anyone here.
The most successful inshore boat in the fleet is Bauer Becking's Telefonica Blue, with 2 wins, a second and a third from the 4 import races so far. They're boosted by the return of inshore skipper and helmsman Ika Martinez.
For us, it's very important to be less than 10 points difference to the Ericsson guys, because we think that we can catch them, and always something can happen. They can break something in a leg or whatever. If they are far away, there's no way to catch them, but if they are very close, it always can happen.
Il Mostro's skipper Ken Reid is shortly hoping to fulfill 2 of his sporting dreams.
Oh, come on, go away. You guys are here because you're trying to goad me into screwing this up, aren't you?
Winning the import race in front of friends and family will be the harder of the 2, but throwing out the first pitch at a Boston Red Sox game is not without its anxieties either.
Mike Sanderson set sailing back 500 years with that pitch. I wrote him an email. Hopefully he saved the email. That was the saddest excuse for a pitch in the history of the sport of baseball. So, well, I can't do worse. This is history, fellas. You don't understand. You guys can't get a grasp of this, but this is the coolest thing ever. So every visiting player has signed.
If it's your first time playing at Fenway Park as a visiting player, you come back here and you sign your name.
That's cool. What a tradition.
Oh, please stay forever.
All right, so there's a couple photo ops we're going to have right over here.
Kenny, you're going to stick your head out.
Have you always been a Red Sox fan? Always, since I was born. You grow up with the Red Sox. You live around here, you grow up with the Red Sox. You live and die with the Red Sox.
That's the next Christmas card. I'm not nervous, but all of a sudden somebody else is.
A nautical adventure. That's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. Thank you very much. Nice job. Southern Ocean? Nothing. That's the way it's staying.
It's now the Friday before the import race. There's very little wind forecast for the following day, but the fleet is also short of one other key commodity.
Some of the sales for the teams were on the ship coming up here to Boston, and on that same ship there was a container with dangerous liquid chemicals that unfortunately cracked.
Oh.
So the ship was forced to stop and was sitting in the bay outside Rio. But these guys need their sails. And we have such a short time, so we need to organize a special arrangement there and get our container, only one container, off the ship, truck it to Sao Paulo, get it into an airplane, and get the sails up. And that's happening all the time behind the scenes there. It's really, really a logistical not a nightmare, I would say, but it's a huge challenge. Yes.
Knut Frostad, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Knut is the CEO of the
It's 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon before the first batch of the inshore racing sails finally arrives. All have to be checked ahead of the weigh-in at 8 the following morning.
You got your sails in? They're all good. Not a moment too soon.
But two teams have not been so lucky.
Could be a late night. Yeah, we won't be going anywhere if we don't get the sails for tomorrow.
Both Green Dragon and Telefonica Blue have still to receive their sails. And at 11 o'clock, they're still waiting. Race day, 5:45 a.m.
You're in that Landstar truck, are you? Oh, okay. You should be able to see us in a second. We're just around the corner. Really close now.
After waiting all night for their inshore sails to be delivered, the Green Dragon and Telefonica Blue shore crews are finally rewarded.
Morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
All right, not too bad. Well done. Where's the Telefonica boys? Coming. All right, good. We've got a forklift coming now, so.
Yeah, we're quite pleased, especially with this wind, because it had all our light air sails. If it had been windy, we might have been all right, but you know, they were getting here on Wednesday, then they were getting here on Thursday, and then they were getting here yesterday morning, and then supposedly at midnight, and they finally got here at 6 o'clock this morning. So a few of the lads were up all night waiting, because we had to get the sails packed and ready to get on board as well. And we had to declare them by 8 this morning, so just in time.
The Boston import event is at last ready to roll. The winds may have dropped, but expectations have not.
We feel we have a lot of pressure on us, which is not, we don't like to have a lot of pressure on us. We like people to say, oh, you can be last, it doesn't matter because we love you anyway. That's not the case, we know that. They only love us if we win. So we have to win. It's crazy. It's like this.
Obviously, we got a couple extra fans more than usual, and it's been a tough stopover because a lot of people want parts and pieces of all of us here, but you know what, that's what we can sleep next year. Sleeping now, we really don't have to do, so we're in good shape.
The day's two races will be held off Winthrop Beach in Boston's outer harbour at Broad Sound, Ken Reed's neck of the woods, but by no means familiar waters.
The only advantage we have around here is picking good places to eat and good watering holes. The fact is there's very little sailboat racing in this body of water in the outer Boston Harbor area.
It will be an important day for us just points-wise, but I think like we've been showing in all the previous races, we've been going well in this kind of stuff. We've been fast, we've been sailing good boat handling. Things could happen like what happened in China, when the first race goes bad. Just rug our shoulders and have a good second one, and to just keep believing in ourselves.
1.5.
Ready, guys, tagging you.
Push this, so let's try and kill his air, okay?
30 seconds.
You can go 0 when
Let's
you're
go on it, yeah? Let's go on the line.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Okay, we are racing, boys. Come on.
Race 1, and there's a clean start as Puma, Ericsson 4 and Green Dragon take the left-hand side of the course and Delta Lloyd the right.
Keep going, Pepe.
Super slippery in the light airs, Telefonica Blue reaches the top mark first.
And 5.
Enjoying the spectacle from the front of the fleet, solo sailing legend and Vendée Globe winner Michel Desjoyaux, Bauer Becking's guest on the Blue Boat. Delta Lloyd's hard work in practice paying off in second. Next boat round is Torben Grail on Ericsson 4, anxious to keep tabs on Telefonica Blue. After Puma beats Green Dragon to the mark, Ian Walker's men attempt to jibe while setting the Spinnaker. But the Irish-Chinese entry stalls as the Spinnaker gets caught inside the forestair. And Ericsson 3 attempts to duck inside.
We're there.
Ericsson 3's furious protest to the umpires results in a penalty turn for Green Dragon.
Ian, what do we want to do this time? We're trying to get down the floor. Okay, well, that's good. We need to commit to the other jibe and then get it down. We're going to
Wait and then drive. Guys, we have to wait and then drive.
Just gonna get some pressure here.
Line, go! Leave the sheet, leave the sheet!
With the fickle winds varying in strength between 5 and 12 knots and shifting by as much as 40 degrees, Bauer Becking's men are in their element. Best in bigger breeze, Delta Lloyd on Black Betty are well outside their comfort zone, but fight to hold on to second.
2 more, please.
Underlining their superiority in light conditions, Telefonica Blue crosses the line to win the first race after leading from start to finish. In second, the delighted crew on the second generation Delta Lloyd. Rarely successful in light airs as ABN AMRO won 3 years ago, it's been transformed under Tuni Bermudez's leadership and is now mixing it with the big boys.
Nice work, Johnny.
Torben Grail and Ericsson 4 cross the line to take third. By the time the second race of the day gets underway, the anticipated sea breeze is only just starting to build, but some unexpected fog already has. With points, pride and reputations at stake, the focus on getting a good start is intense.
Okay, we need to track down. Who is it? Don't know, he's got the radio. E3, 4 and Puma are all OCS, okay?
Desperate to deliver in their home port, Puma's Il Mostro jumps the gun and takes both Ericsson boats with them. Furious, Ken Reed and his rivals are recalled. While tactician Bauer Becking's cool under pressure sets Telefonica Blue up for the rest of the race. Becking capitalizes on the mayhem behind him and once again rounds the top mark at the head of the fleet. Not far behind them, Fernando Echevarri and their sister ship in second. Delta Lloyd are again looking strong, but already making up ground after their recall at the start are Torben Grail's men on Ericsson 4.
Go, boys!
Ken Reed's men, though, still have it all to do at the back of the fleet. Despite their strong start, there are problems for Delta Lloyd, who get caught on the wrong side of a wind shift. By the time they reach the top mark for the second time, they're suffering badly. Later on the second lap, while still holding second, Telefonica Black snares a lobster pot. They drop 2 places as the 2 Ericsson boats sweep past. There are no such concerns for Telefonica Blue, calmly building on an already commanding lead. It's been a great day at the office for Bauer Becking and Telefonica Blue. 4 points to the good after their second successive in-port regatta victory. After a third and second, Torben Grail and Ericsson 4 take second place for the day, while Delta Lloyd's second and sixth place finishes are enough to secure 3 points and the final podium position. Fourth is Magnus Olsen and Ericsson 3's best import result so far.
Still, we are not on the podium, but we will for the last 2 races. Better late than never. Now we are up there, now we know. But in the first race, we screwed it up completely. We had no spirit. There was something wrong. We thought we'd become better, but we hadn't. So I fired everybody. And then I couldn't find a lot of people out there, so I had to re-sign them. And then they became better. And in the second race, they sailed very well. I'm very proud of my crew.
Come back with a podium position with a second place. It's actually a pretty good result, especially after starting over the line on the second race. So it's an excellent result for us.
It's not the perfect day for us, there's no doubt about that, but you make a mistake in that second race like we made and like I made and on the start, we're not quick enough in a light air day like that to make up for it.
Yeah, it was nice to know when I got this morning the message that the sail had arrived, so it was just a relief. Otherwise it would have been a tough day because it was very light and we wouldn't have had the right sails here, but it's good they're here.
The net effect of Becking's win in Boston is to reduce Ericsson 4's overall lead by just half a point, but extend to 3 points the gap between himself and Ken Reed and Puma's Il Mostro in third. In fourth place, Magnus Olsen's men close the gap slightly on Reed, and in seventh place, Juni Bermudez and Delta Lloyd also make gains in pursuit of Telefonica Black. Up next for the fleet, the 2,500 nautical mile transatlantic sprint to Galway on leg 7. The maximum points now available to a boat winning all 4 remaining legs and the 2 import races is 44. Torben Grail's lead is already 12.5 points. Who or what can stop the Brazilian now?